Yes, yes, the recording's in process. 1 2 1 2. And that's the way we do. 1 2 1 2. That is the way we do. Right. Recording in progress. I need that. Boom. Okay. Where was I? 1 2 1 2. Recording is in process. One, two, 1 2. We got people in the waiting room. Admit, admit, admit. 1 2 1 2. Dawn. 1 2 1 2. Did I get everybody admitted? Yay. Louise. Yeah, everybody let me know where you're rolling in from. Want to get a sense of how the prayers, the vibrations around this fire of love is going to go out into the world. For some reason, I'm going to date myself here. I woke up with a Barry White voice. Anybody know Barry White? I'm dating myself now. This is how my voice sounds when I come back from ceremony, singing and leading around the drum. You got your water, you got your journal. Yes, yes. Good rising, family. The UK. All right, give thanks. Louise, you know about Barry White. Let's see how this is. All right. I don't know what it was. I must have went on some journeys last night. Woo! Welcome, blessed Saturday. Saturn Day. Powerful, powerful, powerful day. That ends the week. A beautiful time that some have as a Sabbath, where we can come into the relaxation of becoming still and just observing the beauty that we created over the week. Yeah? All right. Yes. What's up, beautiful people? Now go ahead and give me a little sense. Okay, hold on now. Got some folks entered the waiting room. Come on in, the doors are open. Open those virtual doors, Aka. Come on in. The fire of love is burning bright. You know why? Because you are the fire of love. You are the one that puts your fire into the circle of love. Remind me to tell you, I'm going to tell you this story while everybody's rolling in. From this book, The Mutant Message Down Under. It ties in to what we're doing here today. Connecticut coming in the house. Somebody remind me to tell that story at any time when you feel the inspiration that hears this. The story from The Mutant Message Down Under. Right? Because it has to do with our fire of love. Connecticut's in the house. You know that's an indigenous name? Connecticut. 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 Welcome. Give me some one word, 2 word tellings of how you're experiencing the day, right? Just how you're experiencing, coming into new life again. What is in your awareness? And remember, around our fire of love, there's this is a space, especially as we continue to do these immersions around the equinox and solstices. This is a space for you to go on an adventure that allows you to evolve, right? An adventure that allows you to evolve into remembering your true self. And when you see me write true self, for me, that has been a saving search as an adolescent. Like, what is that place to have peace within? All right, let me keep my eye on the doors so I can let folks in. Like, how can I have peace within? That was always my goal. I didn't call it peace, I called it stop the noise. Because I had childhood trauma coming into this realm that somehow um, people in the realm of energy say we're intelligent and we chose these parents and these experiences within our family. Sometimes that's hard for me to swallow, even today, even with what I know. But I do trust in the synchronization of the universe, and that journey did save me, I will say. You know, the journey of seeking quiet, seeking peace, seeking stillness within. I wanted to stop the noise inside. So that's the essence of this circle, and the reason for its creation is so we can have a space to gather together and fellowship within that common journey that we have. If it is, you know, Joseph Campbell's revelation of the hero's journey, you know, that we can all be on the adventure of the hero's journey and embrace all of the experiences that take place on the hero's journey, because we know it's a journey of becoming. If we're infinite, we're always rebirthing. So there's never really any death to be afraid of, like we're losing something. There's always a rebirth. Energy is not created or destroyed. It is transforming, right? Rebirthing. So welcome. Let me make sure I keep my eye on the doors. We have Susan and Andrea coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Fire of Love, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, just sharing stories for those of you that came in about this very sacred space. And since we've been doing it on Wednesdays, just so much is poured in terms of appreciation for it. And I pour my appreciation into it as well. Navigating these times, I know we're all being asked to grow. We're all being asked to evolve, move beyond what we remember ourselves to be from the past, and let go in the moment. Let go, let go, let go. We had a reading in the Wednesday circle around, I think it's the 6th line of the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, which is all about forgiveness. And the forgiveness in the teachings from Aramaic is about releasing and letting go. Heartbeat by heartbeat. So what is that an indication of? The moment. Yes? The moment, party people. The moment. I'm just giving everybody a chance to roll in. Now let me check in. Now, those of you that just arrived, we've been feeding the fire of love with how we're experiencing the day. 1 or 2 word. I had the overwhelm, cherish. I had the overwhelm because I'm making breakfast for my mother. I'm in deep caregiving mode. You may hear that story pop out as we talk today. And trying to get the roof fixed on a house, one of my mother's properties, and today is the day that the roofer finally calls after almost 8 weeks of looking to get in touch with him. He calls this morning as I'm leaving out of the house to come to our house here to be with you. Getting breakfast on the table, roofer calls, overwhelmed, or a concentrated moment, as we'll learn. A concentrated energy moment. So we're going to get into that as well. So let me see what's happening. Julie says open, hunt, dawn, grateful. Karen, resentful, angry, overwhelmed, disconnected. Such a powerful place to be. I really love that. I've grown to appreciate those energies. So that's one thing we need to set our tone for today. So we're going to remember that we are energy. I'm just making a note. Okay. All right. Juliet says the same. Yes, Juliet, I hear you. Health recovery after a major energy. Yes. Better today. I hear you. We're going to get into, let's make a note of that. Get into the energy of healing and regeneration. Okay, making notes here to cover that. Let's let P to the L in. Yes, the doors are opening. I'm not sure. So just seeing that, tune in if you're coming in, if you feel inclined and have an inspiration to put into the fire of love. We're just dropping in our perception of the world we're experiencing right now. 1 or 2 words. How's it feeling inside? What is the quality of the mind? There is a deep transformational energy during this time of the year, which is going to bring out so much. And because we are spiraling and raising the vibration coming into the Aquarian age, which is a different level of vibration than the Piscean age, and we're going to become even more in tuned. So let me return back to everybody's in? Yeah, I think everybody's in. Okay, let me see. Overwhelmed, open, grateful, thankful. I saw you, Juliet. So blessed to have you here. Yes, Res, surgery. I hear you. My mother just got out of the allopathic center called the hospital. Give thanks for it, though. Recalibrating. Yes, beautiful time for that. Exhaustion. Look at the gauge on the prana meter. We're going to talk about that prana. Let's make a note of that if I don't have it. Yes, talking about that prana. Okay. Let's make a note of that. I feel our souls speak to each other when we gather like this. So there's some preparation around the topic, but once we get together, I really have this strong feeling, especially, I'll tell you about that, but I have this strong feeling just based on how the universe or creation has been showing up, that when we gather like this, the intelligence grows, it multiplies, into a reflection of what we really have the capacity to do. We're in our own lives. Sometimes we're in that bubble and our mind is trained to perceive a certain way. And then we wind up perceiving that way and locked into that perceptive pattern. And then all of a sudden, life represents what it represents. And that's not good or bad. This is why we gather, so that we can expand. And we can be part of, the divine matrix rather than the human matrix. We can be part of that divine connection that is intended for us. So when there's sadness and feeling isolated, boom, here we go. You found your way here. Pushed and invited to grow. Yeah. All right. I hear you. I hear you with regard to that pain. Okay, so let's see how feeding your body prana. Let's do a divine experiment around that pain. The pain is intended to bring awareness, and that's what part of the topic today is about, creative awareness. So let's see what happens Today there's not too many strenuous movements, but we do want to open up the joints. So Lori, respect where your body is and just have that. And anybody else that is experiencing pain, or maybe I saw the word surgery, if you're coming out of surgery. So with the movements, be respectful of your body. If you need to be still while movement is going on, then you just imagine your body is doing the movement. If we're doing any type of alternate nose breathings, I guess we just get it housekeeping out the way now, right? So, being here, you are taking responsibility for your body. If there's anything going on in any joints, because I will ask you to move the shoulders, I will ask you to move the spine. There will be some movement of the neck. But if there's some activated movements and it feels, none of these movements are designed today to challenge your endurance. They're designed to open up your nerve channels. So the movements will be more subtle, more focused on the movement of the breath and movements that activate your core. All right? So take care of yourself. If you're on your moon time or pregnant, any of the breathing or holding, no lifting of the pelvic floor, no really putting any pressure on the pelvis. Everything should feel invigorating and give you a sense that you're moving beyond the pattern of the pain. So for example, if I had a pain in my knee, I had a pain in my shoulder, then, I'm going to move in a way, if I feel a little tightness in my collarbone, I'm going to move in a way where I tune into the breath doing the movement and allow the breath to indicate if you should increase the intensity of the movement. And if the breath informs you, sometimes you might go for a big inhale and you say, ooh, then you come back. And as you exhale, imagine you're releasing any discomfort. You're able to release that. Maybe you might, and we'll activate as we tune in, we'll activate the energies as an example to you to say you can call on creation. You hear that? You, and we're going to get into this, can call on the energies around you to support you. Right? It's called a divine activation or divine alchemy. Right? You are the fire of love, this sun, right? This energy. Okay. Forgiveness, yes. Yes, stay in that forgiveness, Christina. All right, just checking in with everyone. All right. Okay. All right. When I see this, I see our souls and what we have come here. What we have come here to transform, right? To move beyond that form, right? To move beyond that form. The change moves from one state to the next. There's a movement. It's available, and your body is always engaging it. Always. All right. So let's come sitting with our spine straight and reaching our crown into the heavens. Begin to have a sense. Okay, I think I got it all. All right. Have a sense of being able to reach into the heavens like a tree with your crown. And simultaneously feel the touch points of your body on the earth. If you're on your yoga mat, if you're in a chair, just feel the touch points that gravity, the intelligence of gravity, is allowing you to experience. And as we start all of our gatherings, we start with an informative practice that you can take with you of the way to approach your day, the way to approach a moment where you need support. the way to approach a moment where you need replenishing and restoration. You come as the universe came into existence. We come to the place of stillness. And then we have the sense of movement. And in our case, the sense of movement is the movement of the breath. And then we'll go into the sound of the movement. And that is where we begin to exercise our creative potential, infinite creative potential, by articulating consonants and vowels, bringing them to life. The same way creation came into expressing life, as exactly the same way the yogic teachings describe the beginning. From a complete union of prana and consciousness to a movement out of that stillness. As it's described in the Ayurvedic text, I am one, I want to become many. So notice how we can feel all these different states of consciousness: anger, pain, sadness, isolation, joy, peace, stillness, love. I am one. Now, what is that many you have the opportunity to become consciously, right? Experiences are coming to us, and we determine what it means to be, I feel isolated. But we're coming together today to step into the awareness, a creative awareness, right? As we step out of duality. Okay. Feeling the energy of balance, let's press the palms together. Place the hands at the heart center, pressing the thumbs into the sternum. And just come to the place of awareness of your body. Now with those touch points, root yourself into the earth. Feeling yourself as a celestial tree. Feeling your roots spread out in 4 directions around Mother Earth. Feeling your roots be invited into her, drawing closer to the center core where you feel it glowing. You feel it glowing with that infinite earth chi, the source of earth chi at the center of her being. This golden earth chi. Feel yourself tap into those portals that is yours uniquely, where you got the energy for your physical body. And feel that earth chi as you sense the stillness. Realize the movement of your mind flowing into that earth chi. Feel the movement of your breath as it opens to receive the life force and consciousness. The same way you receive the energy from your mother on that umbilical cord through the placenta. Feel as though when you tap in with your roots, it's like that umbilical cord, and you connect to that earth chi in the center of Mother Earth. It's like the placenta. Feel that earth chi flow into your body, up your legs, into every cell of your body. Sharing that earth chi with Mother Earth along the journey from the center around your roots. Hugging Mother Earth up into your body, filling your whole body with this glowing golden chi. Feel the movement of your breath. As your body is still, there's movement within. One of those examples of duality. Let's take a few breaths here. And as you exhale, just feel your ability to let go. Let go of all the different labels we just spoke about in the chat. Just let it all go. And as you inhale, feel your commitment to connecting consciously to the design of creation. Welcome, welcome. We're just holding our hands in prayer position at the heart center, tuning in to our connection to that earth chi. Feeling the energy flow up your roots that you have around Mother Earth. Feel that energy grow into your tree of life that reaches into the heavens and taps into the heavenly chi with your upper branches. And have a sense that that heavenly chi flows according to your design. What does it feel like, that heavenly chi? How does it flow? Does it have a color? Does it have a feeling as it flows down the center of your tree into the top of your crown? Sensing the vibrancy that ignites as it reunites with the earth chi in you. It's the same as the breath and the cells of your body. The cells of your body have the earth chi, the breath, the heavenly chi. Feel the beautiful sensation of that inhale. Feel the love of it, how soft it is. What a beautiful, powerful, consistent, loyal lover the breath is. Feel how it comes into you. And let's use that sensation and awareness of physical love, physical touch, physical union, the thing humans call sex. Let's just let those labels go and just remember the beauty of that design. See, those are the feelings that will release the neurotransmitters of regeneration, restoration, endurance, enlightenment, intuition, inspiration. And we can ignite that, activate it by focusing on the feeling of the inhale. Simply focusing on the feeling of the inhale. You can let go of anything else. It's already designed to do it. That's why we're able to come up with words like balance and harmony and healing and regeneration, because it's already doing it. So no need to worry about the words, just focus on the feeling. See if you can feel the softness and the love as you let go of the awareness of the pain, discomfort. Now awaken your awareness of the sound of the breath. See if you can hear the sound of the breath. moving inward. Now see if you can feel the sound of your heartbeat. And you heard me right. Feel the sound of your heartbeat. There's a pressure wave that flows throughout the body when the heart squeezes, and it also holds information. That's just for you. So sense the pulse, sense the feeling of that intelligent movement, that rhythm, so perfect that trillions of cells are taken care of by that activity. With that awareness, as you feel the inhale, have a deep sense of being taken care of and supported. So even though we may feel pain, discomfort now, there's energies acting on our behalf. Let's breathe into that, because where we focus is where the energy flows. Where the energy flows, that's where the experience manifests. Feel the pulse of the heart. Listen to the sound of the breath moving in through the sinuses, filling the lungs. Feel the relaxation of the diaphragm, massaging the digestive organs, the kidneys and adrenals, creating a wave of life. Wave of life. Continue being aware as we move into a conscious ability to create sound. And we'll tune in with the sound that was taught to us in the ancient texts from the rishis. That sound A-U-M. Aum. And feel every letter. Consider it a living being. And as you articulate the sound, you are developing your relationship with it. As this Himalayan master of chanting said to us, he said, each of these letters, these sound currents, are living beings. The more you spend time with them, the more they can reveal their secrets. So tune into the movement of sound. As you begin to create the ah sound, lift the muscles of the pelvic floor as long as your body says it's okay. As you come to the oom, as you come to the ooh, as you come to the U sound, feel the lifting of your navel point that lifts in a comfortable way. And then you come to the and feel the vibratory energy and notice the movement of the energy, the vibration through the body, rather than just coming out of your throat, the sound. Okay, let's inhale to synchronize our breath together. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Feel the vibration. Have a sense of a clearing and emptying, the stillness and the sound. Three more. Last one. Lower the volume a bit. Sit in the awareness of the vibration. Continue to hear it flow within. And take your hands and rub them together, like so. Really begin to feel the activation. Feel them getting warm. Watch your breath now. Where did it go? Is it still long and deep? If not, return to the long flow of energy in and out. Feeling the softness. Here's an external activity, movement of your hands, and there's an internal awareness as well. This is the idea of balance right now. Activating that awareness. A little faster, a little deeper your breath. Again, if you can't press too hard, or if there's some aspect of your surgery, just move in a way that is comfortable for you. Quickly place the center of the palm over the eyes. Notice how you're able to bring in this outward action, this circumstance that happened in your outer world, and you're able to bring the experience into your inner world as you allow the energy of your hands to flow into the eyes, nourishing the optic nerves, all the way flowing. Feel that light flowing to the brain, particularly the centers at the center, the core of the brain, where the optic nerve travels. And just imagine you can feel the light bathing your pituitary, pineal, pancreas, pituitary, pineal, hypothalamus, thalamus. Resetting your amygdala, resetting your hippocampus, resetting the entire brain as the energy bathes your brain and flows down the brainstem past the medulla into the spinal cord and expanding into the peripheral nerves that flow out into the arms, into your torso, all the organs. Imagine this wandering nerve called the vagus nerve. It flows out of the brain and touches every major organ. Feel the light flow through the nervous system, all the way to your fingertips and all the way down to your toes. And just feel the cells are so happy. As you breathe into any discomfort, just feel yourself let go. And the next inhale, hold at the top. And open your eyes with your hands still on your face as you exhale. Slowly move your hands away from the eyes until the lines of your palm come into focus. Now, as you look at your palms, this leads us into our topic, right? Stepping out of duality into creative awareness. So here's this sense that you have this physical body, this physical life, as you look at the hands and the lines on the hands. And yet there's this internal experience we just had, imagining the movement of light and energy through the body, movement of the breath, the imagination of your mind, putting loving roots into the earth, returning to the origins of your earth chi. All of that went on inside. So we really want to dive into our flow today as you relax your hands down, because that's going to be the theme today. Is we're going to embody the duality, and we're going to embody the creative awareness. Like just now, becoming aware that we created. Yeah, I might have guided your imagination, but you're the one that had the creative experience. So we're going to examine that, the psychology of that, in terms of All right. We came into this world through the design of biology, came into our families, and that's what, so this is the verse. So biology, psychology. How do we think about all this? How do we perceive all this? And how at simultaneously is it designed to operate? So that biology considers that within the duality of the mind and the body, there is also the oneness of the creative process. Where we traveled from the stillness into movement, into sound. That is the creative awareness. You can be in the stillness, and what happens? You become aware of the sound. And then what's next? You become aware that you have the capacity to create sound. Come on! You have the capacity to create sound. Now, the psychology of that is, how do you use it? How you been using your sound current? How you been using it? If we take into account that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was our creator, organizer, deliverer of this life. The Word is. Can you imagine that? The vibration is the presence. Different than the effigy or the anthropomorphizing the great bearded man in the sky, determining whether we're sinners or worthy to enter the gates of heaven, right? So that's a psychological duality, and that duality, it never comes to the realization of oneness. A biological duality will give you the inhale and the exhale, all supporting life. All supporting life. So as we flow, our examination is really going to be this, because it's important that this be more than just a discourse and a gathering around this fire of love. It's important that you be empowered. This is my mission, for you to be empowered by the experience of life. So even though there is the psychological feeling of isolation, the biology of your being, the sacred biology of your being, the divine biology of your being will remind you that feeling isolated is not your true design. The mind will still have the stories from the past. Right? So this is when we'll go into reviewing some spiritual perspectives that have been given to us so that we can step out of that fear that creates isolation and drives us into survival. We can step out of that. And then we're going to identify these powers that are within us, these 4 powers, that when we just simply focus on them, they awaken our creative awareness. And then, in that awakened state, you say, hey, universe, I need you to show me miracles today in ways that will surprise me, in ways that will help me grow confident in this journey of life and what it's all for. Right? So as we journey through that, then we'll take it into a practice. And as we come out of the practice, we'll see what our soul says to us, and as far as how we carry this on in our life, right? And that means there's a few assignments bubbling as I'm hearing it. There's some assignments bubbling for us to do. So I would like you have your journals. Could you take out your journals? And here is a question that is said from my brain coach. It's said to set up the psychology, right? If the psychology, we're saying the psychology, okay, for a moment, before I have you write this down, let's just see, because it'll build up the power of what you're about to write down when it comes to navigating your life, navigating out of pain, navigating at whatever circumstance you have that causes you to suffer in any way, shape, or form. Right? If you are an infinite creative being with infinite potential, then you have the potential to be the solution to whatever you're facing. And now what is the way to access that? Okay, so check this out. Psychology. When I say the word psychology, I'm speaking about the way we have been socialized. There's an aspect, here's duality, right? There's an aspect in us that is so potently guided to live in this world that when we come, we have no way of taking care of ourselves. We are totally dependent on being taken care of. And when we come, we are still able to communicate our needs. And that's as far as we go. We don't communicate because we want to go have an ice cream when we know we don't need an ice cream. Or we don't communicate because we know we need to go in the forest and come on, let's go for a walk. We communicate our needs, not a mixture of needs and wants. All right, so here's where the psychology starts to weave itself, because we're reliant on those around us and their psychology, our caregivers, siblings. And then that expands into friends once we go out of the doors of the house, right? Now the psychology is another layer, right? There's another layer of do's and don'ts, but how it weaves into what we think about ourselves and what makes us feel good and what doesn't. And now that psychology has gone into our biology, where we have feelings about things. And then we direct our mind. Our mind directs us towards what takes us away from that brings comfort and discomfort and suffering. It moves away and attempts to move us towards. But that's the psychology moving us around and manipulating us in, let's call it the field, right? Let's just take all the personalities away from betrayal, distrust, fear, anger, resentment, any of these energies that were born out of relationships. Let's just take the personalities away and look at it as energy. All right? So, come on. Matter of fact, put your left hand on your heart. Raise your right hand. Now, we're going to make a pledge. You're going to make a pledge today. And if you're in agreement with it, join us. If it's something that's too out there, then just be patient with your brother. Okay. The pledge is going to be around the truth that we are energy. Now, is everyone in agreement? Get an amen, get a thumbs up. Okay. So we're going to, in a sense, open up this awareness because we're going to call it. We're going to call it into our sacred circle here. Okay, so you repeat after me. I now let go of all the ideas I have about being human. I let go of that label given to me. I now recognize my true identity. I am pure energy, intelligent, infinitely creative, with the ability to regenerate. I now allow myself to be my true self. And so it is. All right. Rub your hands together a little bit and just rub that into your five senses. You know what I mean? Just rub that into all the senses. And as you rub it in, just feel like you can take away all of the false teachings and offerings out of your psychology. Just flick them away. Feel it return to the source. And you say, thank you. I've got my lessons. Imagine, all the things these eyes have seen, what these ears have heard, you just release it. The influences on your psychology. That now you look at yourself as energy. You look in the mirror, you see energy. Beautiful energy. You breathe it in. Just pull it out. Pull out the smells, the tastes. You pull out the energy of being drawn to too many sweets, drawn to too many salty foods, right? And the seeking of comfort, right? What do they call them? Comfort foods, right? Just pull it all out. Feel your fingers on your skin. Just any way you've been touched, you just pull that energy out. Letting go of the personalities that may have hurt you and just let it go. What reason is there to hold on to that energy? Why do we hold on to it? What is the purpose? The purpose is to help us develop our skills to remember that we are energy. Beautiful. So, look at me. Tap your hands like this, and then switch. Tap your hands like that. Giving the signal that you are cutting the cords. One more time. Other side. Cutting the cords of any energies that are interfering from that realm of psychology, interfering with your biology and your awareness of duality as oneness and oneness as duality. Beautiful. So have that way of giving thanks inside. All right. So that's just a quick little way to effectively, when you feel memories come up in your psychology, that bring an awareness of duality. Somebody hurt you. I have stories of childhood trauma from the womb that I remember. So when I'm close to my mother and I hear certain words, they feel like they're vibrating in my body and creating more noise. And I realize how that has caused me to distance myself from her. I was just realizing that, to where, and it's a pattern, right? She had to leave home when I was 18 to take care of her father's land here in Alabama, where I am now. So I'm about 18 and a half. And I was left, it was a rites of passage, really. I was left to finish my pre-med studies and continue on, as the family wanted me to be that doctor and live a good life, young man. You got it. It's laid out for you. You got an apartment. You got it going on. But I didn't know how to deal with the noise inside that surfaced. The psychology from the lineage, the family, the caregivers, the lineage and their stories, right? That they handled the way they could. And now it's in my hands to handle. And there was that psychology for me to handle. But now we know that we're energy. And as we look at the energy of the psychology, we're not saying it's bad, because then that'll just put us in duality again. We're remembering we're energy, so we're all of it. We're duality and oneness. Right? Take your finger. Look at me. Take your finger like this. Here's the oneness. And then stretch it out to the side. Now, all of a sudden, there's a left and a right. Bring it back in, center. Right? There's still a left side and a right side, but here's a oneness. And sometimes you do things like this with your body to break patterns. You know, look at this position is said to bring a balance between the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And then therefore, it's balancing your logical side and your creative, intuitive side. Right? And now stretch them out. Now all of a sudden, you have an extreme distinction of polarity, left and right. So this idea of out there and in here, you know, we have, keep them up though, for those of you that can. But just keep your hands spread, because you have what's going on in the news and in social media. Then you have what's going on inside you and your reaction to it. Yeah? But bring them together now. And now, yeah, it's operating inside you, but now you have the opportunity to look at it according to the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are. The energy of it. Close your eyes a moment and take a deep inhale. Exhale. Now open your eyes and just continue to feel the cycle of your breath. That's what's allowing you to perceive anything that you perceive. So therefore, what is happening on the news is just informing you about the energy flow in the mass consciousness of Mother Earth's atmosphere. Now, what is the solution for it? You can either focus on the issue or what is your contribution to the solution. Same with our family. So let me give you an example. I was just telling you about how when I hear my mother speak in certain ways, if she comes in and has a certain language around, let's think of something, around family and feeling hurt by family and not wanting to feel that pain anymore. You know, I don't know how to handle that anymore. You know, so if it's something to be compassionate with. But so for me, inside, there is the rumbling of hearing her pain when her husband, high school sweetheart, was violent with her while she was pregnant. And her crying, I can hear that. I can hear her sadness that the relationship is not working out. So, you know, here's this duality between I want to feel peace, and my mother's expressing something that's bringing up noise, emotional noise. It feels uncomfortable. It's all energy. How do I bring that energy and return it to the oneness? I focus on the softness of the inhale. I focus on the feeling and awareness that this biology is allowing my body to support life. Bio, life, study of, ology, right? It gives me the opportunity to study life. And therefore I can let go of the personality of my mother and become the energy of our healing, the energy of me listening to her. I have a sense of expanding that listening to my daughter, and then listening to her great auntie who brings a medicine way to our family, Aunt Mamie. Then I can expand beyond. Now this is my play with it. I'm encouraging you to develop your way to play. Play in the duality, realizing you have an ability to create. I came to this place to offer you this because this was my play from 18 in that apartment in New York by myself, bouncing off the walls with all this noisy emotions, and I used marijuana to calm myself down. But now I've come to the place where I don't have to smoke a joint. I can puff on some prana. Some prana puffing, y'all. Prana puffing. So when you feel, yes, the body may have gone through surgery. My mother had a hypertensive event. And my biggest fear was that I wouldn't be there because I live in Costa Rica. My biggest fear is I wouldn't be there and something would happen and I'd get that phone call. You know, she's scared of that phone call. Or when I call and she doesn't pick up. And I call all day, she doesn't pick up. And I start to get worried. And then I call at night and she picks up. Right? So, I mean, that fear was there, right? So here's that energy of fear. I'm in the duality mode, like something happens over there. And then I'm still in my practice. I'm still in this center. I'm still visualizing her surrounded by some sacred geometry that's full of this beautiful feeding umbilical cord from the sun and giving her everything she needs. Playing, right? I'm playing with the creative awareness, right? Continue to sense that the suffering is inviting you, the duality, right? I don't feel good here, but I'd like to feel good like that. But the suffering is inviting you, the pain is inviting you to connect to your energy, the intelligent energy of being able to create. And now it's finding that, you know, 'cause I know the pain is not comfortable, it's not fun, right? But there's a joy as you have been crowned an energy being. There is a joy and fulfillment that happens when you find the way, when the answer emerges. And not like you're calculating it with your psychology, because the psychology was given to us. But the biology, the intelligence of the biology, that divine intelligence of this sacred biology will give you intuition. It will give you inspiration. It will give you a sense of knowing what to do. And then you reach into it. Maybe it's just simple as taking a sip of water. And then the discomfort of the headache or the dryness of the mouth disappears. So for those that are experiencing pain, just look at the subtle ways in which the pain gets relieved, right? And just continue down that path, because that is connected to the wiring and the pattern of your psychology that you are transforming. Right? Remember, biology has a way that it functions. And that biology, right? That biology and the way it functions that biology and the way it functions operates through the energy of this time that we're in, this equinox time. It operates based on balance. So you have an ally, an angel, there to support you already when it comes to this duality of psychology and biology, right? This way your mind is operating and the way the intelligence of life is operating. We're saying, for you newcomers arriving around the fire of love, welcome. We're saying that we're focusing the mind on the intelligence of how this biology operates. So we study we study life. And for those that entered into the room, you have now transformed your identity from human to pure energy. Pure energy. Let's free ourselves of the labels. Free ourselves of the personalities that we have stories about. It's that time. You know, that was a Piscean age. I was listening, you know, my mother has a TV on often, and they had one of those infomercials about, you know, soul songs from the 70s, you know, and, you know, it's just the way that the language of the songs, you know, even some of the old jazz songs, you know, just how codependent the language was. Piscean age. Now we're in a new time, a new frequency. The beauty of life is expanding. And now, whereas you did things in the Piscean age, I've got to go see the master. I've got to get that PhD. I got to go over here and get that pension. And now look at how the information age has transformed the work environment. Now, if you be who you are and you place yourself within the business mode of sharing who you are, you'll be valuable to somebody just simply because you're being who you are. How many personalities there are out there to look at now. I mean, just look at the way, life has constructed itself with this union of biology and psychology, how things have evolved with consciousness. And now, for us, we're saying, those of us that gather around the fire of love, we're saying we are the fire of love. We are that energy. If we identify ourselves, let us choose the identity that supports what? Your physical and your energy. The essence of that energy, we're saying, is your soul. That's your soul. The essence of that energy. So let's identify these 4 powers and go into a practice. And actually, we embody the 4 powers as we were coming into this sacred circle, so that would be good for those that just came around the fire and brought that energy in. We love you. We thank you for coming. So first power is stillness. If you're feeling overwhelmed, and rightly so, we're rewiring ourselves from the codependent training of the Piscean age that teaches us to consume, teaches us to be a cog in the wheel of the industrial complex, right? But all those ways are shifting. We no longer have to learn just in the 4 walls of a classroom, which was said to be a training ground for being in your office, ringing the bell at the right time. Your recess bell is your lunch bell at, your break bell at work, when you take your break at work. So all of that psychology, that domestication that Don Miguel Ruiz talks about in the 4 agreements, that domestication, that now we are letting it go. And the first step to letting it go is to come into the power of stillness. Come into the power of stillness. So you look at all the traditions, and they all have some type of meditation, which means there are the flowing meditations where there's movement, slow, and there's the meditations which are still. So again, duality shows up, but the biology of it, when you call it meditation, creates a oneness, because there's a way of walking where you concentrate the mind and it becomes a conscious walking, but there's a stillness of the mind. Maybe you walk and practice it. Maybe you walk and make each breath a step, or each step represent an inhale and then another step, an exhale. And what are you doing? You're centering yourself where your energy flows from. It's from the prana and consciousness, right? So focusing in on that stillness, focusing in on becoming still. So if there's a challenge, you need a solution, you feel overwhelmed, get still. Right? I need to make sure Mama Addie gets her medicine. I need to come teach. I need to live my life. And her bills need to be paid. The roof needs to be fixed. The way Thich Nhat Hanh teaches it is to integrate all of that into your ability. I'm adding that part into your awareness. He says, focus on the inhale. Focusing on the inhale, just allow the exhale. Focusing on the inhale will allow the integrating energy to expand. So the psychology comes in harmony with the biology. And then now duality, with all of its going-ons out there, no longer has its power to be the labels of society. It is the label of the ebb and flow of creation. And now you get an opportunity to draw inward and just let duality represent the inhale and the exhale. Just draw your energy, right? So you're drawing your attention away from social media, news, circumstances, and just draw yourself inward. Draw inward. And then that's where the breath comes in. That's the second power, the breath. Because it is the greatest influencer of the mind and the body. The breath. Because it holds what? The Holy Spirit. It holds what? The intelligence. It holds what? Consciousness and prana. The next one is consciously moving. So consciously following the breath, or doing your yoga, or taking your dog out for a walk and just making it a mindfulness practice of watching the movement of the body, paying attention to it. If someone is experiencing pain, then there is a movement of the breath combined, finding that sweet spot of moving the body and just releasing the discomfort. And sometimes, in case of a surgery, there's healing going on, so there's now directing the mind towards the regenerative process. So maybe you're bringing light into it. Maybe you have the mind focused on serving the healing, serving the regeneration, right? So now you're drawing on the infinite energy because of your focus, versus focusing on the discomfort. What can I do to stop it? So the attention is not on stopping the pain. The pain has a purpose, even if we don't understand it. The focus is now on supporting the healing. Because if we feel pain, then we know healing is taking place. And then now it's just a matter of supporting the balancing of the energy. Pain usually indicates something there. The energy in that area wasn't moving. So by you focusing on the movement of the energy, and there are practices, and we'll get into some in just a few moments. There are practices. Focusing on the breath as a power. That's why we're calling it a power. It will help move that energy. Movement will let the capillary beds of the lymphatic system, the capillary beds of the artery system, and the capillary beds of the venous system can open up and free themselves. And when they have freedom, then the spaces between the cells have freedom to communicate and have space to let go of what they don't need and take in what they do need. That space, they call it the intercellular space, right? When that space is free, that freedom expands into the body and gives you a sense of freedom, and it releases the pain. So as we do the breathing exercises, just have a sense of clearing the capillary beds. If you can imagine, if you've ever pulled up a plant or seen the root hairs, those root hairs are so crucial for the plant receiving nutrients from the soil. And even more crucial are microorganisms that produce fulvic acid that allows the nutrients and minerals particularly to draw up into the root hairs, right? So this breath, the prana, feel it going into the area of discomfort if you have any in your body. Move slow and easy. All right? Everybody all right? We're going to move into some breathing practice as we just speak simply about the next thing we did when we tuned in was vibrate sound. So mantra, right? Man is mind, trang is projection. So mantra will give us the capacity to direct the projection of our mind. So that way, when you feel the pain, maybe you have a chant that you can embody. We'll tune out with the Creator's name in Aramaic. It's said to be the way to find your place in the designer of life. Find your place. And it's such a comfortable, blissful place that every time you vibrate, you can go to that place. Soon it can become better than any painkiller because it will vibrate in an intelligent way. It will see what is creating the pain, and it will create the neurotransmitters, neural hormones, open up capillaries. It'll do what needs to be done the more we allow, right? So then the more we chant, the more we allow. The more we chant, the more we can allow the mind to focus. We don't have to focus the mind, we focus on the chant. And we direct the mind as we are directing the mind right now to focus on this breath. So I was going to have you write down a question, and I realized I didn't have you write it down. So write it down now before we go into this breath work. Some of you that have been in the Wednesday circle may remember these questions when we're preparing the mind, preparing our psychology to open to the intuition and inspiration that flows from our soul. How can I use this, and you fill in the blank of that energy. How, and I'm going to say this energy, but you fill in the blank, right? How can I use this energy I am experiencing to serve my soul? So I might write it, how can I use this experience of my mother having a stroke to serve my soul? If that energy is giving me a sense of overwhelm, if it's causing discomfort in any way, how can I use the energy to serve my soul? And now, one more question. Why should I use this energy to serve my soul? So what we're going to do is we're going to warm up the central nerve channel. So with these nerve channels that are subtle energy channels, you have the flow of life force through the water element. That's through your lymphatics, through your circulatory system. You have the flow of ether, light energy, prana energy, through your nervous system. And you also have the prana energy flowing through these channels of energy called nadis. In Chinese medicine, they call it meridians. There are these ley lines in our body, just like there are ley lines on the earth. So as we practice breathing, we're able to clear these channels. And with that, there's this activation of an eliminating energy and an activation of a receiving energy. So here again, duality shows up as oneness that feeds the creative process. So this is the idea of creative awareness in our topic, that you're experiencing the duality, some contrast. You know, you have one experience, but you might want another. But in your creative awareness now, you're awakening to the fact that it's all here right now. And the breath will bring it to you, the way to navigate not the mind. The mind got us into this situation in the first place, right? So we're awakening and I believe this is an Aquarian way, because what happened? I was on the phone with my mother when she was having her hypertensive event. So that fear that I had, somehow through what I believe, staying tuned in to the flow of the universe being the flow of your breath, staying tuned into that, being in my standing meditation, stilling myself and allowing these frequencies and currents to move the way they need to and let my mind go. That allowed me to be synchronized with the movement of how she was doing her life, rather than me getting upset. Hey, I bought all those supplements and they're just sitting there. Or I bought you the good toothpaste and you're still using the Colgate, right? So, but all of that, right? All of that, all of those labels, but just, I was just focused on quieting the noise, and I was there to make sure she got help in time. But I was there not because of I was there because of I and I. Because I spent time with I and I. And when we're doing this breath, have a sense you're spending time with your Creator. You're spending time with this most perfect lover that brings you everything you need. You with me? Okay. So we're going to be practicing, and we're going to kind of come to the end of our immersion for today, but we're going to flow into your space, right? So as you flow out of our immersion, it's going to be a continuous meditation into your space. So the duality of, hey, we're in our circle, beautiful energy, and then you cut it off, and now you're in the duality of your place, right? So the idea, I'm a Capricorn, so I needed to be practical. The idea is that you carry this into your life. So as you flow, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to look at those two questions. And you're going to begin to just flash right. Just let it come out. Just let it bubble up and let it come out. Bubble up and come out. Bubble up and come out. Right? And anything else that you're inspired, like practice being with inspiration. Right? So you're calling on it by just sitting still with a pen in your hand. That calls inspiration. And just let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. How can I use this energy? And remember, we're saying the soul is this infinite, intelligent energy that is present, available, able to handle any situation. It is in rhythm with life, pure rhythm. You feel it in your heart. It is always present. So you know the things that come in from the past, that's coming in from the mind, analyzing data. It's the psychology of things given to us from the outside world. But there's something given to us by the design of life. And remember, because we're just going to be praying out and you're going to go into the writing as we finish the breathing. Remember, the things that have been given to us, we're now moving away from resentment. We're moving away from judging it because we're letting go. Forgive us our debts as we forgive as we forgive our debtors. We're letting it go, heartbeat by heartbeat. Think about it. What does it cost you to carry it around? The thought that somebody hurt you, the thought that somebody betrayed you, the thought of fearing somebody, the thought of being angry at somebody. What does it serve? How does that serve your soul? And it can. I'm not saying it's bad, right? We're speaking about being energy and watching the flow of energy. And if the flow of that energy is going in a certain way, that is counterproductive to setting up the conditions for the energy of health, balance, harmony, to have room to flourish and blossom, then is it a priority to carry around that energy of being angry at my father for beating my mother while she was pregnant with me? Or her younger sister that was lying on her, causing her other sister's children to have resentment towards my mother. I have to let it go. It's not a priority to carry that around. What is it for you? So that's in that question, why should I serve my soul? Why should I use this energy to serve my soul? Okay, beautiful. All right, so remember, when we finish our breathing practice, we're going to stay in a meditative state. We're going to acknowledge the presence of this circle and pray out, and you're going to move right into your writing so that you're in your space, activating this fire of love that we've cultivated here. So when we gather next time, it's just a continuation, right, of this expansion of your being, expanding beyond the discomfort, the suffering, and the pain into the magnificence of your being to create your awareness of creativity. Okay, so you're coming with your spine straight. Everybody all right? Let me know. I'm cool. I'm great. Hallelujah. Amen. Something. Oh, I like that chant, Rez. The light within me. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Laurie. Okay. Uh-oh. Somebody I needed to admit. Apologize, Jay. But you're in time for our meditation if you're still there. All right. So coming with the spine straight as your tree, feeling your crown reaching into the center of creation. The hands are going to be in the sun mudra, so the ring finger and the thumb are going to touch. Place them palm up on your thigh or resting on your knee, whatever is comfortable for you based on your sitting position. So in the name of the equinox, activating the energy of equanimity, we're going to practice a famous breath that we use within our Wednesday circle. This is the circular breath, but we're going to add different aspects to it as we journey into it. We want to clear that channel of the taste buds and what sounds have rolled across the tongue, things we have said, maybe we regretted. We're going to clear that channel. Cravings that no longer support us, we're going to clear that channel, clear our voice channel, right? And we're also going to activate the channel of the nose, sinuses, clearing the brain, clearing thoughts we no longer need, clearing out and feeling the energy of awareness as we step out of that duality of inhale and exhale into the oneness flow of the energy of eliminating apana and taking in prana, right? Life force. Okay? So you just follow my guidance around the breath. We're going to keep it open. We're not going to do alternate nose, so we don't have to worry about any congestion or deviated septums out there. So come into a stillness. If you want to activate the experience more at another level, you can focus the eyes up and in towards the point between the eyebrows. The energy of the muscles activate the optic nerve, and it helps to send energy into the area where the pineal and pituitary are. Okay. So let's inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Feel the release, letting it go. It no longer belongs to you. Inhaling slowly through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. In through the nose. And hold that breath at the top, making sure your body is comfortable, able to retain any pressure on the lower abdomen due to moon time or pregnancy. Just really relax. Exhale out the mouth. Hold the breath out for a moment. So this activates your calming part of your nervous system. Inhaling through the nose last time. Hold. This activates your energizing part of your nervous system. Notice how these parts of the nervous system, duality, operate as oneness. As you exhale, last time out the mouth. Hold the breath out. Duality is oneness. Feel the stillness as you hold the breath. Now inhale through the mouth. And exhale out the nose. Inhaling through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Hear the sound of the breath as you inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. In through the mouth. Out through the nose. In through the mouth. Feel your body receive all the love. Exhale out the nose. Feel the warmth, feel the release of the fire that no longer is needed. Inhale through the mouth. Hold at the top of that inhale, sensing the spread of all that life force, all the balancing energy, regenerative energy. Exhale out the nose. Hold the breath out. Feel the emptiness. Feel the leaving of what you no longer need. Feel the quiet. Inhale through the mouth one last time. Hold. Exhale out the nose. Hold the breath out one last time. And now, inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Hold the breath at the top. Feeling the wave of pure life force coming to every cell, all the way down to the toes, to the top of your crown, into your hair. Exhale out the nose. Last inhale through the nose. Hold at the top. Feel the stillness. Feel the life force. Feel the activation. Exhale out the mouth. And let the breath return to normal. Staying in this meditative space, we're going to enclose our circle around all of us as you continue in your meditation around this fire of love with your writing, going from day to day, looking at that writing every day. And we'll say a little prayer for creation around us, sharing our fire of love with it. And then we'll move into the writing meditation into your own space. And I will close down our moon meeting, our Zoom meeting for today. I put my email up if you wanted to open your eyes and write it down. So, I mean, you have the communication from from the newsletter, but if anybody needs that, if there's any questions, anything come up that you want to discuss, please email me. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Giver of our breath. Thank you for giving us this time around the fire of love and allowing it to come into our hearts and be connected to the infinite supply of your life force and the creative awareness to utilize it, to set up the conditions for the answers and solutions to the problems we face. And may this also, as we clean ourselves and clear ourselves, may it also resonate out to those that are having challenges in this time, that the situation they're in awaken the intuition and inspiration and give them the clear channel towards the supply that will allow them to activate that answer and solution. So they experience a deep fulfillment listening to you from within and begin to dispel the power of outward circumstances controlling us. Thank you for this revelation. Thank you for this awakening. Thank you for our siblings that gather around this fire, our sacred family. And we send this energy out to all our family and all our relations. So we give each other this virtual hug, staying within, staying in the stillness, staying in that deep peace. Go forth into your writing and stay tuned for the next message coming to you about when the next time is for us to gather. And just stay on that mission of looking at that energy every day that you're writing. And I guarantee you'll see the miracles unfold simply because of your focus. I love you. And continue to go forth and prosper and heal and spread your light and your love. Until the next time. I love you a long time. Years and years without tears or fears. Yes. Forward ever, backward never. Till we tell our stories of miracles, healing and regeneration for all of you. And just dwell in the blessings that you are. Until next time. One love.